you should marry the person who you could divorce with love. Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Kinga. I started to make YouTube videos about 2 years ago, right after my divorce. First, it was like a self-help tool kind of thing to kind of help me stay alive. And even though I was going through some rough times and depression and, the grieving and everything, I felt the need to have something that would keep my thoughts busy with something else and also organized, a bit like my thoughts a bit more organized. And also I just wanted to just document the whole journey for myself and my closest friends, how I am reinventing myself and my whole life. And then and then here I am, 2 years after the divorce, going stronger and more confident. And I really wanted to make a video about my latest Amsterdam trip, but I just haven't been able to do that. Yes, I went to Amsterdam again, and I went to see Esther Hicks and listen to Abraham Hicks. If you don't know them, Esther is a lady who she's American. She lives in the US, and she traveled all the way to Europe just to channel. She doesn't like to use this word, but just to channel this group of consciousness called Abraham. And she's been doing this for like 35 plus, I don't know how many years, and it's just amazing. And if you don't know her or them, Abraham, then you should look it up. And so I went to Amsterdam again to see her and them, whatever. And it was such an incredible event. And I still get the goosebumps, just thinking about it. And I will definitely make a video about how it was and all that. But in today's video, I just wanted to wrap up my thoughts about marriage. I'm not going to go like too deep, but just the other day, a friend of mine and we were talking about marrying the right person, right? And she just had this generic question about, so Kinga, who do you think is the right person to marry? And I was thinking, normally I would be just giving out this list of qualities that I would be looking for in a man, right? And then I have a very long list. I'm very picky. And I think you should be, like if you have self-respect and self-love and stuff, obviously you should be. And but what's interesting is yesterday I went to Jordan Peterson's event. He came to Stockholm. It was amazing. Someone asked him, like, how do you find a perfect person? And he said, maybe that's the wrong approach. Maybe that's the wrong question to ask ourselves. It's not about finding the right person or the perfect person or the perfect match. It's first to become that perfect match ourselves, like it's not just about, hey, I want someone who can give me this, give me that, and who can offer this and that, and who is like this and that. But how about first helping myself to evolve into that perfect partner myself, right? And I think, if you look at it in a more spiritual kind of way, then this is also something that could resonate with you because they say that you have to, like, energetically, you have to become whatever you want to attract to yourself. So even if you're approaching this question spiritually or in a more intellectual way, I think you kind of get the same answer. And I think it's just beautiful. Like, instead of trying to look for the perfect person for yourself, become that perfect match or that perfect partner yourself, so that the right person who really matches that in energy and in everything can find you or can be attracted to you. But back to my friend's question, like, who is the right guy? Who's the right person to marry? So again, you know, I would just give her my whole list of the qualities and everything that I would be looking for in a man. But if I would have to simplify it, I would just say, first, I mean, there's one quality that really comes to my mind that is huge, and I used to really look down on it. And I used to say, you know, like when I was reading through like dating profiles and stuff, and everyone was listing there like, I'm like this and I'm like that and da 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 da, and who am I looking for? And then sometimes guys would be like, oh, I'm just looking for a nice, kind person. And I'm like, really? Just a nice, kind person? I'm like, that's so shallow. And that like, you know, I'm more complex than that. And I am also looking for a more complex person who's like this and that and assertive and smart and, you know, like all these good qualities. And I'm like, you know, if the only thing you can think of is kind, and, you know, I think you're too shallow for me, or you don't know what you're looking for. Bullshit, you know? Like years later, when I met a lot of people who were having a lot of good qualities, but they were lacking kindness, it really showed me that kindness is huge, especially these days. You know, I think it's really, really, I wouldn't say it's so rare, but, you know, it can be sometimes difficult to find someone on in the dating pool who is like genuinely kind. And it's huge. It's a huge thing. So yeah, kindness would be key, but I wouldn't just say, yeah, I'm looking for a kind man. Obviously, there are so many kind men out there who I would never date, right? Or they wouldn't be a good match for me, or I wouldn't be a good match for them. However, the answer came to me when I was just looking around my current situation. And my current situation is I am in the middle of moving. And if you listen to my videos, you know that with my ex-husband, we still have a very good relationship, right? We kind of speak every day or like text every day, just, you know, sending each other funny stuff. And, you know, we care about each other. We like each other, like genuinely. Like we are good friends. We don't have that romantic connection or physical attraction or whatever, even though I think we both look really good. But we just don't have that. We never really had that. That's one of the main reasons why we had to get a divorce. But I don't want to speak for him, but for my part, I can say that I genuinely love him. And there's nothing bad that I could say about him. I think he's an amazing person. And everyone who knows him would agree with me. So we have this good connection, this very nice friendship. And now that I'm moving to another apartment, he and his current girlfriend, which I also made a video a couple of months ago about the first time when I met them. So they traveled. Oh, sorry, let me just go back. So like he moved to Hungary about 8 months ago or something. Like that's where we are from. So he went back to Hungary, and now he's in a relationship, and he's got, you know, stuff there. And they flew back to Sweden to help me with my moving, and also to renovate the place that I'm moving to. Because we used to live there, and then I moved out, and then he lived there, and then he moved out, and now I'm moving back and all that kind of stuff. So he has a connection to the place, but it's not like he had to fly to Sweden to help me and all that shit, but he still did, or they still did. And they were super sweet. They helped me you know, like sort out the stuff and, you know, get rid of stuff that none of us needed. And they painted the living room. They repainted the walls of the living room for me. Obviously, I helped as well. And I mean, their help is huge. And then in 2 days, they're also gonna help me move, you know, like the actual physical stuff and everything that I have here to that apartment. And you know, and it hits me every time when I connect with my ex 2 years after our divorce, that, you know, our marriage, our relationship, to me, was beautiful. It was a very healing, beautiful connection. It was lacking certain things, so probably we should have never gotten married, but we definitely needed each other at that time of our lives. And then we had, like, how can I put this? Like, our lives, our journey had space for this union, you know. Back then it was needed. It was needed for the both of us, you know. We have evolved, and together and separately, and, you know, we helped each other thrive in ways that we would have probably never thrived without each other. And, you know, we got from a certain level to another level by helping each other. And I think it was a beautiful connection, a really beautiful union. That's why people around us were truly shocked and sad when we separated, because obviously they didn't know everything. They just saw that we were a great team, and we were. And but it wasn't just our union that was beautiful, our 7 years together, but even our divorce. It was super hard, it was super heavy, and you know, when you have to hurt someone that you never want to hurt, it's painful. And then we both had to go through this grieving and pain, and the worst part of it is we couldn't even be there for each other in our pain, because we were so heavy and busy with our own pain and with our own suffering, that at the same time that we just couldn't, you know, lend a helping hand to the other, or we couldn't be there. So we had to do it separately in our own solitude, and that made it even harder, right? But I would say that still our separation was beautiful, because there was no hating, there was no drama, there was no, I'm gonna make it hard for you, I'm gonna make sure that you suffer, or, you know, I'm gonna, no, it was in love, and it was very supportive, you know. Like, I remember that when I found this new place, he even helped this new place. He helped me to move in here. He also spoke to because my salary back then was way lower than what I'm earning now. And he even told the landlord that, you know, he will be, I don't know what it's called in English, but, you know, like, he would vouch for me, and, you know, he's there, like, you know, he would put his name on the contract as an extra person, or as a backup, or a support, or whatever. And he helped me tremendously, and so that was beautiful. It was supportive, it was loving. And then ever since then, our pain has obviously healed, and I think our connection has healed and gotten to a different level, right? Because now we are just truly friends. Like, it had to kind of downgrade in a bit, but the love is still there, but it's like a different kind of love, right? And then now all the things that he's still doing for me, right? Which, you know, it's not like he has to at all, but he still is. And I'm happy to be able to maintain a good friendship with not just him, but his girlfriend as well. And so this particular time of moving, and they coming back and helping me with everything, and the three of us hanging out, having lunch, or doing stuff, or having a great laugh, or, you know, and just confusing the neighbors because they have no idea what is going on. This just made me think that if I really, really had to simplify my thoughts about who's the perfect person to marry, and kindness comes to this, I would say that you should marry the person who you could divorce with love. And the reason why I'm saying this, let me explain. Because obviously, if you want to marry someone, you don't want to think about divorce. When you marry someone, you want to marry them because you think you're going to be together forever, right? So you're not marrying someone with the thoughts of future divorce, obviously. But I'm saying that the potential for a divorce is always going to be there. You never know. Things change. We evolve. We can evolve in separate ways, different ways, at different speed. And then all of a sudden you find yourself in a situation where there's no other option but to leave. And leaving or divorcing doesn't always have to come from hatred or whatever. Like, our divorce was more like a mutual agreement, because we saw that in order for us to evolve further, this is a step we need to make, because we have evolved together beautifully, but we have reached the ceiling, and from here our marriage is lacking certain things that like physical needs and whatever that we would need. And now looking back, I'm happy we did. We both can see that it was the best decision for us back then, but it was so hard to make. And you know, and if, how can I put this? So the person that you could divorce with love, trust me, is a person who has this unlimited kindness in their heart, you know? So basically that's kind of like the message, like, make sure that the person who you marry is someone that you could never hate, because they are such good people. You could never hate them. And they would never make your divorce hell. I think just in general, the most beautiful relationships are built with and on love. And that kind of love can never really turn into hate. And that kind of love can never really just vanish, you know, into thin air. That kind of love is going to always be there. And when I get emotional talking about this, it's not that I'm sad. It's just my heart gets filled with love for him and for our partnership and our friendship in a way that it's just overwhelming. And this is how it comes out. So I'm not sad. I'm happy. I'm just really touched by the connection that we have and the past. And it's been kind of, you know, difficult, like today as well. Like, we are there and sorting through stuff, and you know, you bump into this, you know, a bunch of photos, wedding photos and wedding books and stuff, and I could see the struggle on him as well. And obviously he was in a more uncomfortable situation because his girlfriend was also there. But it's like, what do you do with that? Like, you don't, like, he's not gonna take it with him to, you know, his new life, obviously. It's not like I'm gonna keep it on the wall either. But like, to throw it away is also, it just feels so disrespectful to what we had, you know. And it just, I'll be honest with you, I can't throw it away. I will probably have to put it in a box and put it somewhere, and I will probably never open it, and I will never look at them. I don't need to. I just don't have the heart to throw them away. And like, how do you throw that away? I don't know. So I'm very thankful that I got to spend that 7 years, and I told him as well that I got to spend the 7 years with that particular person. He was the first person in my life who made me feel lovable. I'm not kidding. And when I felt that for the first time at 31, I was so touched. I was so touched by it. I think that's very precious, that feeling, that gift from someone. Especially if you have lived 30 years already without ever feeling lovable, with always questioning if you're worth it, with always questioning if you deserve love. And then all of a sudden this person comes to your life, and then they make you feel that you deserve it. So he's a very special person, and I will always have a very special place in my heart for him. I would never want to get back together with him as a wife, and I have no sexual desire for him or, you know, any of that. So my next partner will never have to feel jealous of our connection. But I just think that, you know, the person that you're gonna marry, obviously, you know, like, apart from the obvious reasons that you're gonna marry that person, right? Because you're attracted, because you feel that you're a good team, because sex is great, because you have great communication, because, you know, like all the other things. Let's not go through that because it should be obvious, right? Apart from that, just ask yourself this question. If for whatever reason, in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever, if for whatever reason any of you or the both of you decided that you're gonna get a divorce, do you think that this particular person and you would be able to do that with love? Do you think that you guys could have a divorce without throwing shit at each other, without becoming evil? Do you trust that this person will always have love for you no matter what? Do you trust that this person will never like flip and become this evil whatever that you just wouldn't want to look at or talk to or have anything to do with? Because if you are sure that this person would never flip and become someone else, because the kindness is so genuine, the kindness that they already show you is so genuine that you just know that that is who they are, like they are truly kind. And it's not just a facade that they are showing you now, and a couple of years down the line they can show a different side of them, but you just, sorry, like I probably need to blow my nose, but you trust that this person and yourself as well have that unconditional love and kindness, like it's not a fake thing, but it's like that's who you are, both of you. Like you just trust that you both are that person. So even if some shit hits the fan and for whatever reason you're unable to solve the conflict or solve that particular problem, or you know, and then you decide to divorce, can you see yourself being able to do that with love? Honest, genuine, true love. Not the romantic kind of love when you are longing for a person, when you are romantically, you know, like, or sexually attracted and all that, but like that, you know, that true love that most of us can feel, not all of us, but like we are supposed to feel for our mothers or our fathers or our siblings. Even if they hurt us and they do shit, we're still gonna feel that love, you know. I need to blow my nose. So can you see yourself, the two of you, having a divorce? Don't see yourself having a divorce, but could you see yourself having a divorce with love and without hurting each other? Because if you can, then your person, your husband or wife to be, is a genuinely kind and loving person. And I think that's the kind of person you should marry. Thank you. If you like my video, please give it a like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever. I would love your comments. I actually rarely get comments these days, but I would love to. I would love to interact with you guys more. And I would love to know your thoughts. And I would love to see you as a new subscriber. So, you know, next time I post something, you could get a notification. Also, if you're not just subscribing, but by also clicking on the bell sign. So if you could do that, that would be lovely. That would be amazing. And I would love to see you soon. And my next video is going to be about the Abraham Hicks workshop in Amsterdam that I attended 2 weeks ago. Alrighty, take care. Bye-bye.